Quicksilver Express is a very unique family coaster located at Gilroy Gardens in Gilroy, California, very close to Santa Cruz, California. This roller coaster is a mine train coaster built by Morgan, and fun fact, it's the only mine train coaster ever built by the manufacturer, making it a very unique and rare roller coaster credit to get. In this video, I'm going to be going over the roller coaster, what I think of the ride, and determine if it's worth it for you to go out of your way and visit this charming little park, because at the end of the day, this is the only major attraction this park has to offer. Before we get into the review, I just wanted to ask that if you are not subscribed yet to please consider subscribing to my channel. I am trying to reach 1,000 subscribers by the end of 2024, and with your help, I think that I'll be able to do it. Also, be sure to follow my Instagram, link in the description down below. Alright, with those little plugs out of the way, let's get into my thoughts on Quicksilver Express, the unique family mine train coaster located at Gilroy Gardens. The first thing you'll notice when walking up to this roller coaster is you can't really see any of it from the pathways. This roller coaster is really hidden in the woods, and is a great terrain coaster, utilizing the hillside for its layout. Because this roller coaster winds down the hill and through the trees in the back section of the park, it definitely amplifies the sense of speed at some points. In reality, you're really not going fast at all. I think putting this roller coaster in this location was an excellent move. It really makes the experience that much better. If you were to place Quicksilver Express on a flat plot of land, it would not be nearly as good. Another thing to point out about the appearance of this roller coaster is the ride's paint job. A lot of people criticize it, saying that it looks bad, and while yes, it's definitely old and rusted and in need of a repaint, I honestly think that the rusted look of the copper-colored track definitely adds to the ride. While yes, I think a repaint would be nice, I actually really like the way that this roller coaster looks. When entering the queue line, you'll notice a little bit of theming around, explaining what the ride's about. It's pretty loose, but at least it's there. The station isn't really anything special, but at least it has a station. Emperor. The trains and restraints are just okay. They're a little more uncomfortable than Arrow's mine train restraints, at least in my opinion, but they're still not too bad. This ride doesn't really have any jerky moments, so it doesn't really make too much of a difference on this one. The roller coaster's layout meanders around the hillside through the trees, with lots of shallow drops and a couple of decent turns. I wouldn't call the layout too unique, as it's very similar to a lot of the other mine trains you'll find out there, but this one does have 2 lift hills, which is pretty cool. I definitely found the drop off the second lift hill to be my favorite part of the ride, especially in the back row. As I said before, this roller coaster really isn't that rough. I've had plenty of rough rides on Arrow mine trains, such as Gold Rusher and Cedar Creek Mine Ride, but this ride was shockingly smooth. There's also some nearby scenery around the ride as well that I think really adds to the experience, and this ride makes a great use of tunnels. The operations at this roller coaster are fast, and the operators are very friendly. During my visit, there was this one older operator who was extremely kind and charismatic. He went out of his way to make sure that everybody was having the best day possible, and overall it seems like all of the operators at this roller coaster follow suit. Especially at a family park like Gilroy Gardens, this is extremely important, and I think that they absolutely nailed it. Another thing to point out is during my visit, they were only operating with 1 train. I'm not entirely sure if they have more than 1 train, but to be totally honest, until I hear otherwise, I would assume that they don't. Correct me in the comments if I'm wrong, as I did only have 1 visit to Gilroy Gardens. On my visit, the park was absolutely dead, but I can definitely see that on a busy day, if this does have 1 train, that the line could get extremely long, as this is a pretty long roller coaster. It really makes the most out of its 2 lift hills and its train-based layout, so there's no complaints on the length from me. If anything, I feel like this roller coaster is actually a little bit too long because it spends a lot of time slowly meandering around some turns. Now, is it worth it for you to go out of your way to visit Gilroy Gardens and experience Quicksilver Express? Like I mentioned before, this is the only major roller coaster at Gilroy Gardens. They do have another smaller kiddie coaster in the park, but honestly that one's really not that great. Because this ride is so unique and such a rare roller coaster credit, I do think that it's actually worth it to visit this park specifically for this roller coaster. I'm not really sure how much longer this roller coaster will be around, as because this is the only Morgan mine train, we don't really know what the shelf life of these rides is. Who knows, this ride could quietly be removed next year and most people wouldn't know about it right away. This park is also really close to California's Great America and the Santa Cruz Beach Boardwalk, so if you're doing a road trip in Northern California, I definitely think that it's worth it to add this park on so you can get this roller coaster credit. But at the end of the day, it is a family coaster. Don't expect anything crazy. Don't expect amazing laterals or airtime, but do expect a decently fun, terrain-based layout through the woods. For Quicksilver Express's final score, I'm going to be giving it a 5 out of 10. Have you ridden Quicksilver Express? Let me know what your thoughts are in the comments down below. Also, huge thank you to Airtime Thrills Raw Footage for providing the off-ride footage here, and Coaster Dash with front seat POVs for providing the on-ride footage for this video. That's going to do it for this one, and I hope to see you all in the next video.